The Jacksonville Jaguars now hold first place in the AFC South as they beat the Seattle Seahawks 30-24. Blake Bortles, solid day, 18 of 27, 268 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville now 9-4. Tennessee fell to Arizona. They are 8-5. Dylan, do you think the Jaguars can hold on to first place in the AFC South and actually make the playoffs?
Yes, I do, and I can't believe I'm saying it. I've been riding Tennessee, who's won a lot of ugly football games recently, but they suffered a bad loss in the desert to Blaine Gabbert and the Arizona Cardinals today, which opened things up with this very quality win that we saw from Jacksonville at home today, with Blake Bortles leading the charge, playing very, very well. That defense was awesome, and ball hawking as usual, picking off Russell Wilson 3 times. And now with the win, Jacksonville sits atop the AFC South for an outright lead in their division for the first time since 2010. That's how dismal it's been. But here they are, and amidst a lot of criticism of Blake Bortles, bad late picks when the team has an opportunity to seal a victory and he throws a pick. It happened in Arizona. This was actually a really good game, and I saw some growth within this game. Played clean football, leaned on Leonard Fournette in that rush game. Fournette gets a little over 100 yards and had a lot of great late carries to ice this victory. And that defense was really good. Took advantage of Russell Wilson having to do so much that they picked him off 3 times, 2 on some deep balls. And here come the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, and I don't see them giving up this division. I think they wind up icing the AFC South and eventually winning the division.
Couple of sacks for Jacksonville as well. We know they can really get after opposing quarterbacks. You mentioned Russell Wilson. Let's talk about his performance. 271 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions. Do you think Wilson is starting to try to do too much and it's backfiring on him?
He is, but he has to, CTA. I don't see it any other way. You can't slice it any other way. When you have no run game, which they haven't had all year, when you suffer from having to make so many plays because the pocket collapses around you and you're not getting great protection. There's injuries all over the field. There's injuries to your mighty defense, so you can't be conservative anymore. Your defense isn't giving up 13 points. They're giving up 30 points. Now all of a sudden you got to sling the rock around. And all the stats we've heard of Russell Wilson accounting for 80% of this offense or more, it just needs to be that way. It's not a great formula. It's not a formula they want to enact, but it's one that they have to by necessity at this point. And today was one where it bit them in the butt because he's forced to make so many plays that he throws 3 picks, and I can't really fault him for it. It's just the state that the Seahawks are in right now. Yet, they still control their own destiny, even with the loss, because the Rams lost.
Yeah, they had the Rams next week.
They host the Rams, so that's going to be a huge game. And if they can wind up closing that gap and they wind up tied next week because Seattle beats the Rams, Seattle would have the tiebreaker, and that'll be very fascinating. Amidst all of this swirling around the Seahawks and Russell Wilson having to do so much, they still could very well win this division. It's going to be really interesting next week what happens in Seattle with that Rams and Seahawks game.
Tight race in the NFC West. Maybe we'll get a little clarity next week when the Rams and the Seahawks face off. Stadium, we've got all your updates.